So let's talk about something nobody really wants to think about. What happens when your solar company goes out of business? I know it sounds like one of those nightmare situations you'd rather just ignore, but the reality is it happens a lot more than people think. And with the 30% federal investment tax credit ending in just a couple months, the entire industry is bracing for a pretty big shakeup. A lot of analysts are saying that anywhere from 40 to 60% of solar installers could close their doors over the next year or two. That's a massive number. And if you're a homeowner, you've got to ask yourself, what happens if it's my installer? Who do I call for service? What about repairs? What about my warranty? I've been following this really closely. I've read financial reports, dug through news articles, and even run my own models looking at companies like Sunrun, SunPower, Enphase, SolarCheck, you name it. I've probably done some digging, and here's the truth, not every installer is built to last. The smallest companies, the ones doing less than 5 million in sales, are the most exposed. They tend to run on razor thin margins, rely heavily on dealer fee loans, and push a lot of door-to-door sales. When financing tightens up or sales slow down, they just don't have the cushion to survive. My modeling suggests 60 to 80% of those businesses won't be here in a year. Step up a level and you've got the small to mid-size players, say 5 to 15 million on the low end and 15 million to 50 million for the mid-tier. Some of them will pull through, especially if they diversify or start attaching more batteries, but a lot of them will still struggle. I see 40 to 60% closure rates for the smaller ones and around 40% risk for the mid-size guys. Then there are the regional outfits and the national brands. This is a different story. Companies doing 50 to 250 million annually usually have stronger lender relationships, lower customer acquisition costs, and sometimes reoccurring revenue from service agreements. They can downsize, restructure, or pivot to leases and PPAs, which makes them far more resilient. The risk for them is much lower. 10 to 25%, and the nationwide players, the names everyone knows, are even less likely to vanish completely. Sure, they might reorganize or sell off divisions, but outright disappearing, only about 10 to 20% chance there. Now, here's the key point in all of this. Even if your installer goes under, that doesn't mean your solar system is doomed. The equipment on your roof, your panels, your inverter, your batteries, that's made by global manufacturers like Enphase, SolarEdge, Tesla, QCell, Canadian Solar. These companies do billions in revenue every year. They're not going anywhere. And your warranties remain valid even if the installer shuts its doors. The catch is that while the manufacturer usually covers the part, they don't always cover the labor. So you as the system owner can still get stuck paying the service bill. And this is where things get messy because very few installers want to even touch service work, especially if they weren't the ones who installed the system in the first place. Most of them would rather just keep focusing on new installations. That's why I've been building a network of electricians who can step in when the installer is gone. The last thing I want for a homeowner to be left hanging with a dead inverter or a system that's not reporting. What I do is handle the upfront work, gathering site details, initiating warranty claims, and then coordinating with electricians to get your system repaired or recommissioned. It's not a perfect process, but it makes everything a lot smoother for a homeowner and it keeps your investment protected. So what can you do to protect yourself? First, keep records of everything. Model numbers, serial numbers, warranty documents, even your monitoring login info. Basically, know what you bought. Don't assume your installer will be around forever to keep track of that for you. Second, choose reputable brands. If you see a quote with a no-name inverter or a panel nobody's heard of, think twice. Companies pushing off-brand equipment are usually trying to pad their margins, and warranty claims with those manufacturers can be a nightmare. If possible, stick with domestic names like Qcell, Enphase, Tesla, and even SolarEdge. Tariffs and trade rules are still shifting, and while a lot of equipment comes out of China, domestic manufacturing gives you a much stronger safety net. Third, have a plan for service. That might mean getting to know a local electrician that's open to solar work, or it might mean working with someone like me who specializes in helping homeowners when installers disappear. I'm based in Southern California, but I consult with homeowners in other regions too, tracking down reputable partners and helping get systems back up and running. If you're already in that situation, your installer's gone and you're not sure what to do, don't panic. You still own your system, you still have warranties, and you still have options. In fact, a lot of the times your panels will keep producing even if the monitoring app goes dark. And if that happens, you can always add a third-party monitor device like the Sense Energy Monitor. I'll drop a link in the description. It's not that expensive, and honestly, it gives you more data than most installer apps anyways. Now, let's zoom out for a second. Solar isn't going anywhere. Yes, the industry is going to thin out. The companies built on shaky financing or over-promising, they'll be the first to vanish. The ones with too much overhead and not enough sales will shrink, but the strong companies will stick around. And the equipment manufacturers, the ones that really matter, are going to be here for decades. Many of them operate globally. So if you can work directly with them, you're giving yourself the best possible long-term support. And let's not forget the grid. It's not getting any cheaper. Utility rates climb year after year. That means the value of generating and storing your own clean energy just keeps getting stronger, even without that 30% federal investment tax credit. So don't let the scary headlines talk you out of solar. Let them guide you towards smarter decisions, choosing the right installer, the right brands, and making sure you've got a plan for the long haul. And if you ever find yourself in that tough spot where your installer has disappeared, that's exactly why I'm here. I offer consultation services to help homeowners and businesses in these situations, figuring out what you've got, what your options are, and how to move forward. I believe in solar, and I believe it's a good investment. And I stand by that by helping people keep their systems operational. It's why I've partnered with Axia by Qcells, owned and managed by Qcell, the nation's largest panel manufacturer. I did that strategically before the expiration of the tax credit was even announced, because the strongest partner you can have is the one making high quality products right here in the United States. So if you found this video helpful, give it a like, subscribe, and so that way you get more real talk about solar, batteries, and of course home energy tech in general. And if you're in California, Arizona, Texas, Florida, and now Illinois, check out the link in the description to schedule a consultation with me directly. I'm here to help you. The industry might be changing, but clean energy is here to stay. Don't let a company closing its doors stop you from taking control of your energy future. I'm Dale with Renewable Innovations, and I'll see you in the next one.